how can I leave my 6-year-old to live the 6 months here? She doesn't deserve that abandonment, and I feel super confused. What do I do?
She doesn't deserve that abandonment.
No merece ese abandono.
God, it sounds so tragic, no?
Suena trágico, ¿no?
You know, like you're going to throw her away or
Como si la fueras a regalar.
sell her to a foreign country.
Vendieras a un país extranjero.
You know, you're leaving her for 6
La
months.
estarías dejando por 6 meses.
Or you could bring her for 6
La
months.
puedes traer aquí por 6 meses.
There'll be lots of children
Va a
here.
haber muchos niños.
And it's great.
Y eso
You
es
know,
hermoso.
parents need to understand the greatest gift you can give to kids
El regalo más grande que le pueden
is
dar a
not
un
your
niño
time
no es su tiempo,
and your
su
dysfunctionability,
disfuncionalidad.
it's consciousness. If you can give to a child
Puedes recomendar a un niño
a clear vision,
una visión clara.
if you can give to a child a focus on love instead of fear, it makes up for 6 years of their life.
Realmente cuenta por 6 años su vida.
And if you're coming to do the 6 months,
Si ustedes piensan venir a los 6 meses,
you can bring
pueden traerlos.
the child with you.
Pueden traer a los niños.
And if not,
Y si no,
I assume it has a father,
tiene un papá,
or it has
tiene
grandparents,
abuelos,
or it has lots of people that love.
tiene muchas personas que la aman.
You know, this is this idea
Es esta idea
that the child will suffer.
que el niño va a sufrir.
It'll miss you for 2 days,
Te va a extrañar por 2 días,
if you're lucky.
si eres afortunado.
And then it will attach to something
Se
else.
va a pegar a algo más.
It's like that. It's not that you're going to leave it by itself.
No es que la estás dejando sola.
Okay, and I know this is totally contrary to every parent's idea,
Esto está totalmente en contradicción con cualquier idea que tengan los papás.
but it's like that.
No es así.
It's not
No
abandonment.
es abandono.
It's not
No
abandonment.
es abandono.
But you know, you're more than welcome to bring the child
Pero,
with you.
pero sería fantástico que trajeras a la niña contigo.
Yeah, and all the kids go to
Y
school.
todos los niños que vienen acá con sus padres hacen su proceso en la escuela. ¿Cómo pasar del concepto de soltar a la acción de soltar? How can I pass from the concept or the idea of letting go to the action of letting go?
Well, it's not really a concept, is it?
Ya no es un concepto,
Because it's an energy.
porque es una energía.
And you can see it in every moment.
Puedes ir viendo en cada momento.
And it's a calling to come home to yourself.
Para volver a casa, a ti mismo.
You have to come back to you.
Tienes que retornar a ti.
And you can see when you're attached.
Puedes ver cuando estás apegado.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Because there's an anxiety, no? There's this
Hay un eso,
fear.
miedo.
So when you see it,
Entonces, cuando lo ves,
you use the
usas
facets.
las facetas
And you decide
y
to give that love to yourself.
darte ese amor a ti.
Oh, I'm afraid of being abandoned.
Tengo miedo de ser abandonado.
I'm afraid of this.
Tengo miedo
I'm afraid of
de
that.
ir a lo otro.
You know? And it's not
Y
real.
no es real.
You're abandoning yourself
Estás abandonando a ti.
if you're attached externally.
Apegado a lo externo.
So you need to give time to
Así
you,
que te tienes que dar tiempo para ti,
to be with
para
you,
estar contigo,
to teach you to be with
para
yourself.
enseñarte a estar contigo.
How many situations do we compromise in?
¿Cuántas situaciones transigimos?
Because we're afraid of being alone.
Miedo de quedarnos solos.
Because we're scared we're not going to have anyone to love
Porque
us.
tenemos miedo de que nadie nos va a querer.
We have to learn to love ourselves. And we have to teach the children that too. We teach the children attachment. You know, I'm going to
Te
abandon.
voy a abandonar.
It's not you're going to abandon.
No vas a abandonar
You're going to
nada.
expand
Vas a
consciousness.
expandir tu conciencia.
Your fear
Tu miedo
is not being important.
de no ser importante.
That's your fear. Something will happen.
Que algo vaya a suceder.
Something's going to happen
Algo puede suceder.
without my control.
Sin mi control.
Things happen all the time,
Eso sucede todo el
with or without your control.
tiempo.
So at some point, you have to learn
Tienes que aprender.
to let go
Soltar
and trust.
y confiar.
Did you see the mother of that little bird?
¿Viste la mamá de ese pajarito?
Where was she?
¿Dónde estaba ella?
She was off doing her own thing.
Estaba allí haciendo su propia cosa.
And look at what the little bird did.
Y fíjense lo que hizo el pajarito.
It evolved.
Evolucionó,
It grew.
creció,
In fact, it became the smartest little bird,
se transformó en el pajarito más inteligente de todos.
didn't it?
¿O no?
And then it was this powerful little bird
Después era este poderoso pajarito
giving to everyone.
dándole a toda su comunidad.
Wow. Greatness gives.
La grandeza da.
Greatness
La
learns.
grandeza aprende.
Greatness
La
evolves.
grandeza
You're the source of that
Tú
greatness.
eres la fuente de esa grandeza.
So you have to find it.
Así que tienes que encontrarla en ti.
You have to find it.
Tienes que encontrarla. ¿Puedes hablarnos de la compasión? Can you talk about compassion?
Compassion's exactly that.
La compasión es exactamente
It's the experience of that
es
greatness.
la experiencia de esa grandeza.
So instead of projecting your fears
De proyectar tus miedos,
or your angst
o tus
or your
ansiedades,
judgments,
tus juicios,
you can project your greatness.
proyectar tu grandeza.
When you're projecting your greatness, you see other people's greatness. You don't see them as little victims that can't do anything by themselves. You see them as you. And that's compassion. That's the highest vibration of love. Love in evolution.
Amor en evolución.
I see your greatness because I know my greatness.
Propia grandeza.
I don't see you as limited.
No te veo como limitado.
I see you as an incredibly powerful creator.
Increíble, poderosa, creadora.
And I trust in that.
Confío en eso.
That's compassion.
Eso es compasión.
To know yourself intimately gives you compassion because you know all your human frailties.
Todas tus fragilidades humanas.
You know them
Tú las conoces.
and you see them in
Las
others
puedes ver en otros.
and you understand,
Entiendes.
but you also push through.
Atraviesas y pasas del otro lado. Superas.
You know, the greatest teachers
Los maestros más grandiosos
have had the most diverse experiences
las experiencias más diversas.
and come out on the other side.
Salido del otro lado.
They know.
Conocen.
Oh, yeah, I did that. Oh, yes, I saw that. Oh, yeah, I did that. Oh, yeah, I had that problem. Oh, yes, 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 that happened in my relationship too. Oh, yes, I had that physical problem. I had this, I had that, I had that. Okay, yes, I
Sí,
understand.
entiendo.
And life gives you that experience, no? If you jump into
Te
life.
saltas completamente a la vida.
Many people don't.
Muchas personas no lo hacen.
Other people's lives.
Haz la vida de otras personas.
Other people's lives.
A la vida de otras personas.
But when you jump in 100%,
Saltas a tu vida un
you
100%,
evolve, you mature, and you give that.
das eso.
And the greatest gift
El regalo más grande
is the experience of
es la
evolution.
experiencia de evolución.
You know, lots of people stand there and teach,
Personas se quedan ahí, se paran y enseñan,
but it's not their
pero no
experience.
es su experiencia.
It's something they
Es
memorized.
algo que han memorizado,
It's something they read.
es algo que han leído.
You know, I remember when I used to work with the horses,
Recuerdo cuando yo trabajaba con los caballos.
and people used to do these horse management courses in university.
Hacían esta administración de la parte equina en la universidad, estos cursos.
And we were doing it.
Y lo estábamos haciendo.
And they'd arrive,
Y ellos llegaban
and they were absolutely useless.
totalmente inútiles.
They had all these theories. I learned this, I learned this, I learned this.
Y esto y aprendí.
And absolutely everything
Y tenían todo.
went wrong.
Y todo les salía mal.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Because they didn't have the experience.
Tenían era la experiencia.
They had the theory.
Ellos tenían la teoría.
They knew that a horse could kick,
Sabían que un caballo te podía patear.
but once it kicked them,
Una vez que te pateó,
then they knew.
entonces ahí aprendieron.
Then they knew.
Supieron.
They started to learn everything,
Van a aprender.
but it was experiential.
Pero era experiencial.
Would you go to a doctor
Tú vas a un doctor
that had never operated?
que nunca operó,
He just read a book?
que solo leyó eso en un libro.
Would you go?
¿Irías?
No.
No, no es cierto.
So, how do you learn compassion?
Entonces, ¿cómo aprendes compasión?
How do you learn to give?
Aprendes a dar.
By opening your mind and your life and having experiences.
Son experiencias.
So, don't try to protect your kids from experiences.
Los hijos de las experiencias.
It doesn't work.
Porque no funciona.
We must
Tenemos
evolve
que evolucionar
through
a
experience.
través de la experiencia.
And the same with
Lo
ourselves.
mismo con nosotros mismos.
We must evolve
Tenemos que evolucionar
through our own
a través de
experience,
nuestra propia experiencia.
not through
No
attachment,
a través del apego,
but through
sino a
compassion.
través de la compasión.
This is compassion.
Esto es compasión.
Mm.
¿Por qué decidiste instalarte en Latinoamérica? Qué afortunados que somos. Why did you decide to set yourself up, settle here in Latin America? We are so fortunate.
Thank you.
Gracias.
I didn't.
No lo hice.
It just happened.
Sucedió.
I was coming to Venezuela for 2 weeks,
Iba a Venezuela por 2 semanas.
and then I was going back to Australia,
Me iba a
with my beautiful property and doing my perfect ashram on the ocean. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. I sold it and bought this one. And it was so perfect because nothing could be more perfect than my system and Latins. It's just like the perfect fit. And it goes like this, no? Boom, boom, boom. Why? Because Latins are emotional. They're passionate. They feel their emotions. And they have such a strong spiritual connection because of that. You know, they don't have theories. Well, some of them do, you know. But they're more open to change. And it was a perfect place for me and for this system. And then the interesting thing happened. They started coming from everywhere, all over the world. But in the Latin America, there's such a strong connection to the spiritual, no? And it's common. It's not something strange. You know, when I was in Australia, I was the weirdo, no? Like, I was the only one. And I didn't even know what I was talking about. I just felt something. But now it's happening everywhere. But this was absolutely the place to begin. Okay, that's why. That's why I came here. Perfect.
Cuando dices que uno está creando su realidad, ¿tengo que rendirme si esta no me gusta o me daña o debo luchar para cambiarla? When you say that each of us, we are creating our reality, is that I have to surrender if I don't like it or hurts me? Or should I fight to change it?
You know, the truth is,
La verdad es
nothing can hurt you.
que nada te puede en realidad lastimar.
It can touch your ego.
Puede tocar tu ego,
It can affect you,
puede afectar
your self-esteem,
tu
and you'll start to see that you don't have enough self-esteem. You can use everything in your life to evolve, to grow, to say yes. But if you can't do that, you leave. It's in your hands. But if you have something to heal, you will create it again and again and again until you heal it. So you need to decide, can I go beyond this? Can I get to a point where it's not touching me? Can I have that experience? Or can't I? I have to decide. But really, when you start healing, you can't be constantly running away. Because the universe is always sending you something to push you into your greatness. Always. And sometimes it's shocking, no? Or sometimes it's the same pattern. And finally, you see clearly how you keep doing the same thing. But you'll find it's an aspect of you. You'll see that. And then you'll let it go. So it's in your hands. But don't assume if you leave something, it won't happen again.
Cuando tenía 6 años viví una experiencia traumática que creó gran separación con las personas. Me fui creando una coraza para no ser dañada y así me fui dañando yo. Estoy sintiendo una inmensa tristeza y me siento agradecida por haberme quebrado y así sentirme más humana. ¿Qué me puedes decir, Isha? When I was 6 years old, I lived a very traumatic experience that created a great separation with people. I went creating a shield not to be harmed, and I started harming myself. And I'm feeling now such an immense sadness, and I feel at the same time grateful because I broke. I opened up to feel myself more human. What can you tell me?
Well, you know, this is a great moment, no?
Es un momento grandioso este.
It's a great
Es un
moment
gran momento
to use that
para
separation
utilizar esa separación
to jump into greatness.
saltar en la grandeza.
And you know, there's all sorts of traumatic things that happen to
Todo tipo
people.
de cosas traumáticas que le suceden
And
a
I'm
las
not
personas.
diminishing what happened to
Yo no
you,
estoy disminuyendo, descalificando
because
lo
it's
que pueda haber
painful, no?
sucedido, porque es
It's
doloroso.
painful when we get
Es
hurt.
doloroso cuando nos
It's painful when we get abandoned. It's painful when we get abused. It's painful if we get hurt or if we have sexual interference.
interferencia sexual
All of these things hurt us and they close us.
y nos cierran.
We're like this.
Estamos así, quedamos así.
Don't love me.
No me ames.
Don't come near me.
No me acerques.
I can't trust you.
No puedo confiar en ti.
But who are you hurting?
Pero a quién estás lastimando con
You.
eso? A ti.
And all of these things
Todas estas
we all experienced
cosas las experimentamos.
on different levels.
Diferentes niveles.
It might not be so clear,
Tal vez no sea una cosa tan clara,
but something
pero
happens
algo sucede
to create
que
separation.
crea la separación.
You know, for me, it was when my parents told me I was adopted.
Cuando mis padres me dijeron que yo era adoptada,
I was in shock. I was
quedé en
like,
shock,
okay, don't come near me again.
diciendo, "Vuelvan a acercar".
I can't trust the people I love.
Eran la gente que amo.
And they were full of love.
Y ellos estaban llenos de amor.
My parents were
Mis padres eran
incredible.
increíbles.
But I was like this,
Yo me quedé así,
like this.
así.
Could be some sort of physical
Puede
abuse.
ser un abuso físico,
And then you've got the physical
y después uno
sensations.
tiene la sensación física.
All sorts of horrible things
Todo tipo de
happen.
cosas horribles suceden.
But they're all an aspect of the human experience. They're creating
Están
fear.
creando miedo.
We have to have fear to be in duality,
Para poder estar en la dualidad.
or we're just floating around in unity.
Vamos a andar flotando por ahí en unidad.
And this is the human experience.
Es la experiencia humana.
So we go through all of this,
Transamos todo esto
like the Buddha,
sin duda.
and then at some point
En algún momento,
we come back to our original selves.
volvemos a nuestro ser original.
So if you can see that,
Entonces, si tú puedes ver eso,
if you can see it,
si tú puedes verlo,
now you can
ahora
change.
lo puedes cambiar.
And to live closed,
Vivir cerrados
or to take the chance
o tomar el riesgo
and
y
open,
abrirse,
of course.
pues,
You know, you only have wings when you're open.
solo tienes alas cuando te abres.
You have to be open.
Tienes que estar abierto
And
y
trust.
confiar.
Keep trusting.
Sigue confiando.
Because the truth of the matter is,
Porque la verdad de la cosa es
you're here.
que estás aquí.
So you survived.
Así que sobreviviste.
Now start living.
Ahora empieza a vivir. Ayer hablaste sobre la violencia frente a los niños. Además de observarse a uno mismo, ¿qué es lo que haces cuando las ves directamente? Por ejemplo, en la calle, una madre golpeando a su hijo. ¿Qué haces? Yesterday you talked about violence on children. So, besides watching yourself and observing yourself, what do you do if you confront directly, for example, a mother beating up a child in the street?
Sorry, I zoned out a bit. What do you do?
Yes, besides watching yourself, what you feel. Related
Well, obviously you're going to speak your truth, no?
Vas a hablar tu verdad en la situación.
You're going to say
Vas
something
a decir algo.
if she's beating the kid up.
Si está golpeando a un niño.
She might beat you up too, but
Tal vez te golpee a ti también, pero
you know, you say something.
vas a decir algo.
I'd say something. Sure.
Seguro.
I wouldn't be going there going,
Pasaría, "Oh,
Say, hey."
te diría, hey.
I'd try and stop it.
Trataría de pararla.
But you know, you have to decide in each moment.
Eso se decide en cada momento.
What do you do
¿Qué es lo que haces?
if you see someone hurting a child?
Lastimando a un niño.
You try to stop them.
Tratas de impedirlo.
What do you do
¿Y qué haces?
if you see someone hurting an animal?
Lastimando a un animal.
You try to stop them.
Tratas de impedirlo.
Or at least you say
O por lo
something.
menos vas a decir algo.
You don't just walk past.
Obviamente vas a pasar por al lado.
Well, I don't. But you know, I'm pretty aggressive.
Yo soy bastante agresiva.
I don't know.
No sé.
I'd say
Yo
something.
diría algo.
But you have to trust your heart.
Tienes que confiar en tu corazón.
You have to trust
Tienes
yourself.
que confiar en ti. Sé que tengo que soltar, pero no sé cómo. Es como si en verdad tuviese miedo de hacerlo. ¿Algún consejo? I know I have to let go, but I don't know how. And he starts, if I'm afraid of doing it, of letting go. Do you have any advice?
I think I answered that. I let go.
Okay.
Do the next one.
¿Hay centros Isha en otros lugares del mundo?
Yes. Yes. There's one in Mexico. And we're planning on having one in every principal city of the world. And maybe on a planet as well.
Cada vez que intento unificar no siento conexión con mi corazón y no logro profundizar. ¿Qué estoy haciendo mal? Every time I try to unify, I don't feel the connection with my heart and I cannot get deeper. What I'm doing wrong.
You're not doing anything wrong. You know, consciousness is an incredible thing. Because I tell you to put your attention here, no? And sometimes it's like you're touching a wall. But at some moment, when the stress leaves, it opens. Consciousness leaps. It doesn't do this constant thing. It's like this. Boom, 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 boom. And it opens. You do big jumps. And sometimes you feel like you're going nowhere. That's because you're goal-orientated. I need to be achieving. But what you need to do is just surrender. And this is where you start to learn trust. Because the moment you open, the moment you drop into that depth, what happens? There's no thoughts. There's no question. It's just like this. Oh, yeah. So you know, if there's lots of thoughts, if there's resistance, you know it's stress. Because consciousness doesn't have a question. It just trusts. It just trusts. Oh yeah, well this is what's happening now. Oh, now it's changed. But stop looking for an old experience. And stop expecting your experience to be the same as someone else's. Because it will not be. It will not be. And normally, the most constant mundane experience become the biggest experiences. And this is the truth. Because consciousness is very solid. It's not something exalted. It's not Disneyland. It's something constant, peaceful, secure, present. It's something very beautiful. It's a little bit like walking through water. It has a new vision. It's not exalted. It's just there. It's something very constant, like a warm blanket. It's very constant. And this is what you're looking for. You're not looking for this psychedelic experience. If you want that, take LSD. But if you want constant consciousness for all your life, just keep focusing on love consciousness. I've never taken one. No, I'm just guessing.
¿Cómo perdonar un engaño con el corazón? ¿Cómo recuperarse de algo así?
My children heart will tell on you. You cry and cry the whole night through. It's so boring. You know, that song's from the 50s. It's a new era. There's no such thing as a cheating heart. It's either yours or it's not. And that's it.
Y ya está.
There it is.
Ahí está.
It's yours. Oop, it's with that one.
Se fue, está con esa.
Not anymore.
Nada más.
Let go.
Suelta.
Get another one.
Sigue otro.
When it's here,
Cuando esté aquí,
oh, it's here. Oh, no, but it's mine. But it's mine. Oh, and now I've got a broken heart. Oh, and that's all I can think about. Thank God for the psychologists.
gracias a Dios por los psicólogos.
They go, oh, yes, yes, come. We're going to fix this.
Arreglar esta situación.
I see. Yeah. It's your absent father.
Es tu padre ausente.
Yes, that's what it is.
Es eso.
Okay, we're going to work on that.
Vamos a trabajar sobre eso.
It's good. They'd be unemployed.
Si no, usted no tendría empleo.
But the thing is this,
Pero la cosa es,
why do we want a contract?
¿por qué queremos un contrato?
And another
Y
question,
otra pregunta también.
why do you want someone
¿A alguien
that doesn't want you?
que no te quiere a ti?
Why?
¿Por qué? ¿Para qué?
Because we don't think we deserve anything.
Porque no creemos que merecemos nada.
Isn't it sad, no?
Qué triste es.
We're beggars for love.
Somos mendigos por amor.
But you promised.
Pero sí me prometí.
You swore you'd stay with me forever. Thank God they didn't.
Gracias a Dios que no se quedó.
Ay, no. Imagine
Imagínate.
all that time with the same person. Ugh. We love drama.
Nos encantan los dramas. Ese es el punto.
And you know, things are changing too.
Las cosas también están cambiando.
You know, some people have relationships forever.
Algunas personas tienen relación por siempre.
Like our parents, you know.
Padres.
But it seems to be changing a little bit now, no?
Cambiando un poquito.
Maybe not.
Tal vez no.
And that's perfect too. But don't be fixed on an idea
Quede fijada en una idea.
that it has to be forever
Tiene que ser para siempre.
and that you own
Que
someone.
eres dueña de alguien.
You know, if you have to chain
Si
someone
tienes que encadenar a alguien
to be with
para que
you,
esté contigo,
that's very sad. That's very sad. And you deserve much
te
more.
mereces muchísimo más.
Much more.
Muchísimo.
This is sure.
Eso es segurísimo.
Gracias.
Gracias.